Alright, how's it going, team? My name is Julian with the Academy of Thought, and today I'm going to make a quick video showing and explaining how to set up your studies on ThinkorSwim and basically get your charts to look like mine. This may be a long video because this is a pretty difficult but very insightful platform to use. There are a lot of different things you can do with it, but I try to keep mine as simple as possible. So when you download the platform, I believe you're going to have your watch lists on the left. You're going to have like news and a few different things up here. Personally, because I'm a technical trader, I only use the watch lists and alerts. So here's my message center. This is where I'm going to get messages on alerts and such. Account info, I don't use like the live news. I don't use all that stuff just because as a technical trader, I don't like to look at news. News affects those people who like to follow the news, and based on my trading style and plan, I don't take news into account unless that news is a catalyst for a spike. I look at news only when I want to trade something. So let's say something is moving a lot on the day. I want to see if that movement is legit, and if news caused it, then good. But I don't make trades just based on news, if that makes sense. So first thing that I'm gonna go to are the studies and how I used my charts. So first thing you're going to do when you have this platform downloaded is go to studies here. Then you're going to go to edit studies. And the studies, I would say whatever is on here, just exit them out and then add the studies that I'm using if you want to follow my strategy. So what you're going to go is you're going to go here to the left. You're going to go to exponential moving average. You're going to click on it and then add selected. Once you do that, it'll pop up here to the right. What you can do on these videos that I'm making is pause the video so you can see what I'm using. Then you're gonna, after you add that one, you're gonna go simple moving average, click that, add selected, and do the same with these. So VWAP, RSI, and MACD. I'll explain what these are in another video. I'll try to break them down for you. But with exponential, I believe you can't put moving. If you put moving, you're gonna get a bunch of different stuff. So I just type in exponential and then find it here. And then what you're gonna do once you have these all in, you're gonna go here, and I have my length of my exponential moving average, which is the blue line, at 15. The color, I just leave that color. Simple moving average, I have it at 200, and then I've changed it to green. VWAP, I leave that as is. RSI, I leave that, and MACD, I leave that as is. So once you do that, you're going to get this chart here. The RSI is an indicator that shows whether something is overbought or oversold. So here I have ticker symbol CLDR. I'm going to use this as an example. But you can see here, let's go to the 1 year chart, make this a little bit easier. So this price was moving up, and then it got pretty high to $22, and you can see that the RSI, it was pretty high. It was at 70. 70 means that the price is overbought, which means there has been too much buying and the price is getting to a point where it's overbought, and then it dropped off. This drop off was because of earnings, and this was a steep over decline. Look, this drop was a 50% drop on earnings. But the RSI followed, so it dropped down to 30. So anything above 70 is overbought, and then anything below 30 is oversold. And these are just supplemental indicators to when something is a good deal and when something is not so much of a good deal. So if a stock price goes up and the RSI is at 70, it may be getting to a point that it's not a good deal anymore. And like I said, these are supplemental indicators. These aren't like to give you buy and sell points, but these are to help you decide when things are overbought and oversold. But remember, you do not use these indicators solely to decide when you're going to buy and when you're going to sell. on my drawings, I have my little cursor is a pencil, and this is to be able to draw trend lines. So to do this, you are going to go here. I believe it's style. No, not style. Drawings. Drawings. Is it drawings? Drawing tools. Yeah, so you go to drawing, then you go to drawing tools, and I think you start off with a cursor or a pointer. I switch mine to trend line, and from trend line I'm always able to draw lines. So 180 day 4 hour. To do this, let's say I clear all of these drawings. So here, let's say I have this ticker symbol, right? CLDR, and I want to draw supports and resistances. So to do this, I'm going to look for the points that the stock hits and bounces at. So I have this chart here. This is the chart of CLDR. Excuse me. I look at the points at which this stock hits and bounces. So I can see here that the stock at around $22 hits, and this has hit here twice and dropped down. So I'm going to left click once, move my mouse over, and then left click again. That allows me to draw this trend line here. Then I look for support. Left click here, move my cursor over, right click, or excuse me, left click again. So that allows me to draw this line. If I right click, it brings this up. So let's say and then to get away from this, I don't click again. When I right click, it pops this up, and I just move my little roller wheel on the mouse, and then it goes away. That's just personally how I do it and how I've learned to do it. So let's say I want to draw another support and resistance. I see here potentially a resistance, but it's broken it a few times. But if you can see, this was a potential resistance here. And the reason it's a potential resistance is because it comes up, hits this line, pulls down, and then it broke it, and then it held here for a little bit, but it broke to the downside. So this resistance as support was broken a few times, but that's to give you an example. This support here at the bottom is pretty legit as a support line, and we'll see on this part of the chart. This is up to date, or the most recent. We'll see if it holds here. You can see that the price is getting down to this support level where it has bounced twice. If it bounces again on this, then we can say, yeah, that's a legit support. We can say that this is a resistance because it's got up to it, could not break it, or it did break it, but it pulled back down, and then it came up to it again, did not break it, pulled back down. So that's in this video how supports and resistances are found. But basically, to set alerts, let's say I wanted to potentially trade this, but I want to wait until it gets to $14. Right now the current price is $12.79. I am going to right click, go to create alert, and then from here at or above $13.96 we can change it to $14. I'll create this alert. Once the price gets to $14, this alert will be triggered, and then it allowed me to go back and look at this chart again. What else? Okay, so we can go to setup and application settings. Let's see what I have. I don't think I've messed with any of this. System. You should go to system. Make sure that your quote speed is real time, no delay. Let's see what else. Hotkeys. I don't use hotkeys. Here on the chart, if you click on the little cog wheel, you can go to chart settings and you can look at everything that I have on here. I do the volume overlap volume. So if you don't do volume overlap, you'll get a little thing here at the bottom. But I like to have my charts as simple as possible without as many boxes. So I do volume overlap, but it's up to you. Let's see, volume overlap, And then there's another thing on here to show extended hours. Extended hours trading is when the market is closed. People do trade in after hours. For me, that's 3 o'clock p.m. And then after 3 p.m., the after hours is the gray areas. So like these gray areas are the after hours. Here, you're gonna go, you can look at what I have, like I said. And where is extended hours? Time frames, appearance. I have my volume as blue. You can change your volume as like green or red. But I have the candles as green or red, so I don't really need the volume. I just want to know how many shares are being traded during that each candlestick. And this is important because volume, like I said in previous videos, volume is important because you want liquidity in the stock that you're trading, and you want to make sure that enough people are trading it. Equities, here you go. So axis, you want to show extended hours trading session. This is to see like during the after hours what moves were being made. And when you see my strategy, I trade a lot based on stocks that are moving in pre-market, so before the market opens, and then I'm able to find potential supports and resistances that happen in the morning on the daily charts. So I'm going to go through all these. I don't do futures, options, or forex. These I just do equities. And let's see what else I may be missing. If you want to see, this is like up here, you have like your monitor, which is like your account positions. This will be important when simulation trading. I'll show this in another video about simulation trading. And then you have your scan. I'll do another video on teaching how to set up scans and the scans that I use. So let's say I want to see stocks that are trending up. So here are the scans that I have. I have a scan for potential swing trades. I've created this scan myself. I'll share this with you guys. But this is more for swing trading. Right now I'm not focused on swing trading just because the market has been very choppy. But if I do a scan, I can choose the criteria of what the stock has to meet before it's pulled up. And once I do that, then I can get a list of ticker symbols that meets the criteria, and then I can filter from there. The thing with stocks is making sure you find stocks that fit your criteria and only trading those stocks. Here's patterns. I don't use patterns. Okay, and then on the right side, here on the left, we have, like I said, the watch list. So let's say you want to add something to your watch list. You can go here, add, let's say I want to look at Netflix, NFLX. I have Netflix now on my watch list. On the left side, the three things that I use are the last price, the percent change, and the volume. And also, I move this over, but let's say you have a watch list and you want to click on something and pull it up on the chart. You have to make sure to link it. So you do symbol link, red, and then here, red. And then I have all these as red so that when I click on a watch list and see the ticker, I can just click on it and then it'll pop up. And then to change these three, I'm not sure the presets, but I just go here, customize, and then you can remove certain items and then add. So I only add the last price, the percent change, and the volume. Those are the only three things I look at. I don't look at, I think there's one that says like the power of the buying or the bid and the ask. I don't look at any of that. I try to keep it as simple as possible. And then, okay, I can go over this, which has to do with the platform as well. But let's say I go to the 5-minute. This is the 5-minute chart on the 1 day. You can see each candle, right? So if you go to this candle, like let's say I go to this candle, on the top here, it'll say the high of the candle, the low of the candle, the close, R. I'm not exactly sure what R is. I'm not sure what Y is. This isn't important to me. So this is O, open, high, low, close. So let's say we go to this one. It opened at 1568 here at the bottom. The high got to 1595 here at the top. The low, 1566. and the close, it closed at 15.95. So up here it closed at the high, and then the volume on this one was 125,000. Right here on the right, you can see that the volume was 125,000. And then the studies that I have on the bottom follow the price, so these are considered oversold. But like I said, just because these show certain things, these are just to give you an idea if something's in a good area to buy and a good area to potentially sell. But like you can see here, just because it's in a good area to buy doesn't mean that the price was going to move up much. It continued to drop even though this was in an area of a good buy. These are just going to be used as supplemental. On the right side, you have level 2 quotes, and level 2 quotes is the book orders. So right now this is the bid and this is the ask. I'll do another video explaining the bid and the ask. But essentially these are by lots of 100, so there are 1,000 shares that someone wants to buy at 15.55, and then there's the ask, which is 500 shares that someone wants to sell at 15.56. This is just how to use this platform. Like I said, I'll go more into detail about all the indicators, all the different studies, not all of them, but the ones that I use. But I hope this gives you an idea. If you want to zoom in on a chart, let's say I go to the 4-hour chart. What I do is, okay, so like let's say you left click and you highlight, it's gonna zoom this in, right? So I left clicked and then I held the button down, moved to the right, and then I let it go, and it's gonna zoom in. Let's say I wanted to get rid of all this area up here. Well, all I do is I click this on the right and move it a little bit to zoom up and down. Once I do that, it allows me to left click and create a box. Once I create this box and let go, now it gives me this whole thing zoomed in. And let's say I want to zoom all the way back out, 2 left clicks, and it's zoomed all the way back out. Let's see what else. Active trader, that's going to be later. This is times and sales. So during the market open hours, when the market's open, it'll show the times and the sales. I think that's about it. If you have any other questions with how to use the platform, it's going to take you a while to get used to how to use the platform, but once you do get used to it, it's going to be easy to use. To make it easy, what I will do is I will share. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so just make sure you go through the studies. This will give you the ability to go through the platform, to add your own things, so you have an idea. It's very important to learn how to use the platform and use it well, so that you are able to do your own due diligence, do research on your own. And if you notice, whenever I do this, like if you don't click on the right and you try to zoom in, it's going to zoom in like this, and then you're going to zoom in again, it's going to zoom in, but it's not going to close it in a small box. So I click this once here, and I'm able to get this higher, get this lower, and then move up and down, whatever I want to do. Go back to the original, double click. Another thing, if I draw a trend line and I don't like the trend line, you right click, remove drawing. So personally, you can have it set to where if you draw a trend line, it's going to draw a full line across. Like some people have it set, I'm not sure how you do it, but it has something to do with like drawing and drawing tools. You can have a drawing tool where it does a price level. So like let's say I want to have a price level here at 26.46. If I click once, it does a whole trend line. Let's switch back. Yeah, that's not the way I like to do it. Like I said, I don't know how to use that, so I don't do it, but I just go to trend line here. Click, and I'm able to draw trend lines. If I want to draw one single line here, I have it. Remove it, right click, and then remove it. Alright, I'm going to end this video, but if you have any other questions on how to use this and how to set everything up, feel free to message me, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'll try to explain everything as well as I can. Thanks, team.